Passing summary writing is very easy, and I believe everybody can pass summary writing excellently. A previous video has been done on the tips of doing a good summary, and we are going to drop the link under this video. But today we want to consider a particular question, and we are going to provide an ideal answer to summary writing. But first, I want to welcome you to Lucid English TV. Learn how to write crisply, speak confidently, and pass excellently. Are you preparing for IELTS, TOEFL, WAEC, or NECO? You are in the right place. Here we give practical solutions to related answers, and I also give exposition, including tips, useful tips on how you can pass your exam easily but excellently. So let's quickly go to today's passage very fast. Now here is the passage, but like I told you, the first thing you have to do is to identify where you have seen your topic sentences and you have directions to your questions. So the first thing you must do is to check your question. You must check your question first, because you are not just in the examination or to enjoy the interesting passage. Why you are in the examination is to get as many marks as possible, as fast as possible. Now the first question says, in 3 sentences, one for each, in 3 sentences, one for each, state 3 benefits derived from forests. B, in 3 sentences, one for each, state 3 measures to control deforestation. Now these are the questions, and immediately you start reading, you must be able to identify. First, you identify your point, you come back to your question to check if you you have picked something that will answer the question appropriately. And 3, you must not leave mindlessly. You must not write it verbatim. You must not write your answer out the way it has been given. So I will provide a section for my answers. Let's say answers now. Okay, number 1, number 2, let's see, A. So for A we have 1, we have 2, and 3, right? Now for B, we have 1, 2, and 3. So I'll get that prepared. So we have 3 sentences and 3 sentences. So let's see how it goes. And very quickly, let's go through the passage. There are many gifts of nature without which human cannot survive on the earth. That's just an introduction, so you may not need that. Some of these gifts include this. Okay, so the writer comes further to say the last is of particular interest. That's what the passage wants to focus on. Forests occupy a vast landmass and are found in many parts of the world. You don't need that. You don't need that sentence. They are uncultivated. You don't need that. Forests have played a significant role in the survival of humans. Now this is a direction towards your answer. So the writer is trying to introduce your answers to you now. Answer to A. Thousands of acres are destroyed yearly, so you don't need that one too. It's however becoming increasingly obvious that if appropriate steps are not taken to curb the wave of destruction, the survival of humans is hanging in the balance. You don't need that too. You don't need that in your summary. The writer is only trying to create a good background, for what he wants to write. And that is how you write too. If you are trying to write a good expository essay, then you should have a good background for your topic. So let's see. I think forests are more important to humans than humans are to them. So let's see. The first direction is forestry serve as a protection against erosion. Now this is a direction to your question, but you cannot write it out like this. Okay, this will answer one of your questions. The question says, let's see A again. The first question says here that it says in 3 sentences, one for each, state 3 benefits derived from forest. Okay, now this answers that, but I cannot write it this way. That I will lift mindlessly, and this I will be awarded 0. So without the canopy provided by trees, okay, as a covering, the land will be exposed, and all the elements such as strong winds and heavy rainfall. Now the writer is only developing this. I'll use the blue for the development, the red for the point. So we're using blue for this. Okay, it's only developing the points here. The strong wind blow, narration, you don't need all this. Thus the most fertile land. So the word land is very important, very important here, very important. Okay, so let's see. That means there is something you should know here. Forestry serve as a protection against land erosion. So if I'm going to write this out as my answer now, I'll come down here and give my answer in a sentence. Forests. The question says in 3 sentences. Don't ever forget your questions. Your question talks about forests. Okay, that is what has been used in your question. 3 sentences, one for each. State 3 benefits derived from forests. Okay, so you don't change it. Forests. Okay, forests protect lands against erosion. Now that is what the writer has just told you here. That is what we have here clearly written, but we can't write it this way. Although the writer has said forest trees serve as a protection against erosion. Now it can't just be erosion. Now it comes for that to say the land will be exposed, and here is saying fertile land becomes barren. Now there's an indication that okay, the forest trees are actually protecting the land against erosion. Okay, the word land is missing in this sentence, so I can't carry this sentence. It's not complete to answer my question. And in my question, I am being asked, okay, about forests, not forest trees. Okay, a tree does not make a forest. Okay, so and that's why your question is talking about the forest. Number 2. Let's look for that's number 2 now. The writer proceeds. Let's see very quickly. So I haven't finished that. You see, wood from trees also serve as an important building material. That is another direction to your answer. Now, the writing pattern of this writer is very easy. The writer gives you a topic sentence and begin to expose to elaborate in subsequent sentences. Let's see. It is cut and processed for the use of building for building houses and shelter. So pick one here, pick one. That is the importance he's trying to say here, that wood from trees also serve as an important material in building construction. So what are they used to build? Either houses or shelters, and they mean the same thing. So pick one which provide protection against inclement weather. You don't need that. Now let's see with this shield. With this, the forest shield both humans and the earth. So let's see. We have talked about how the forest shields the earth. That's what we have answered in the previous sentence. So let's see how we are going to write this out. We are not writing it out that way. So what do we say? Let's see. So the first thing is, since your question is talking about forests, you write forest out. Forest provide wood used for building shelters. Okay, that's very easy. Now let's go back to it. Let's see if we have answered that correctly. All right, now wood from forest also serve as, that means wood from trees. Okay, now, and these trees are from the forest, so forest provide the wood. Okay, forest is providing the wood. You don't lift it like this. Wood from forest also serve as an important material in building. That will be very wrong, because what you have done, you have lifted mindlessly without you have copied and pasted, and you score 0 for that. So let's see. Let's move on. Let's see if there are other things you should see. That'll be the third one very quickly. Now to this end, okay, let's see another one which provide against with this the forest shield human. Okay, it is therefore important to ensure the continue. Okay, let's move on. There is need for relevant authorities to enact laws that we mandate tree planting. Okay, so that we are going to use green for this. That's B. Don't forget, we have not done number 3 because we have not seen it. So you don't begin to imagine the answer is here, and you can't say it. So you can do it simultaneously like this. There is need for relevant authorities to enact laws that will mandate tree planting to replace failed ones. You can't carry it like this. This is your answer, but it cannot be written like this. Now, go for that. Don't stop there. Where such law already exists, effort must be made to enforce. Look at, there are some keywords. We talked about keywords. If you have not seen the video on tips on summary writing, I suggest you go back. The link will be under this in the description of this video, so you can see 2 key phrases here to enact. I'll keep them in red. To enact, to enforce, but first you enact before you enforce. So where such laws already exist, effort must be made to enforce compliance. So how do you write that out? Let's go back to the question very quickly. The question says, in 3 sentences, 1 for each, state. Let's see the question. This is question A. Let's put that in A. Okay, good. We're good like that. So this is question B. Let's put that in B, and let's see what we are answering exactly. Okay, let's put that in B. Okay, good. We're good like that. All right. So the question says, now following that, you have seen to enact and to enforce. So you must provide your answers just like that. Okay. Now state 3 measures to control deforestation. Laws mandating tree planting must be, when you talk about law, it must be must, enacted and enforced. That's all you need right there. Now let's see it again. So you have to be sure there is need for relevant authorities. Of course, laws are made by authority that we mandate tree planting to replace failed ones. You don't need that story. So let's move on. Has led to the discovery of another use for forest. Now let's look at the other use for forest. Now the other use for forest, you can see this is another direction towards answer to A. Logs can be cut, chopped into pieces, ground by machine, and turned into wood pulp, which then goes through some other processes, and paper is the end product. We can imagine the great things timber does, and we look at tons of books and provided and read worldwide. So that means what? Logs. Another word for log, that will be wood, right? Good. So what you expected to just do here, okay, is you come down because you have just seen another use of the forest. So let's see. Wood, forest provide, there is no problem, provide wood that is used in the production of paper. That's all you need. Now let me quickly say something here. Many candidates are fond of using pronouns. In some you don't use pronouns. I cannot say they protect, they provide. What are the they or it? So some people even use it. One, it doesn't represent forests. Okay, so it will not work. Because summarizing the question, it is stressed in the question. Look at the question. The question says 1 for each, and most times this is always left in bold fonts like this. So you don't begin to use pronouns to replace them. By using pronouns, you are linking one sentence to another, and 1 for each, it must stand alone. That means you are saying, for me to understand the it, I must go and check the previous sentence or previous sentences. Let's quickly see the other ones, the other answers. Let's see. So if you go down, let's go down very quickly. All right. Thanks to technology, it is now possible to operate paperless society. Everyone must therefore continue to make conscious effort to protect forest by going paperless. There is high tendency, temptation for you to go to copy and paste, because you see your answer in a sentence, and they are simple sentences which you can just write out, but you score 0 if you try it. So you just write everyone, instead of saying must endeavor, instead of using the same word, like saying make conscious effort, must endeavor to go paperless. Very easy. Paperless. Now let's see if we can get another one there. All right. First, feed earth, humans and animals that live in them. This is another answer. Okay, but you have to write them out well. Through the addition of vegetable. Okay, fine. Humans also get nutrient pack. Thus, government must discourage cultivation of forest farmland by creating reserves. Don't be too much in a hurry to choose your answer. Having identified, you must write it out in such a way that it answers your question. However, you must also check, is there more to the answer? Let's see. Such reserve should be protected by law to prevent encroachment. That means even when the reserves have been provided, there can be instances of encroachment. So government should create forest reserves and also protect them. So that will be your answer. Okay, government, not the government, just government of any country, of any state, of any place, must create forest reserves and protect them. Now these are your answers. So you check again. Have you started in capital letter and you have a full stop at the end? Because in 3 sentences, one for each, state 3 benefits derived from forest. 1. Forest protect land against erosion. Forest provide wood used for building shelters. Forest provide wood that is used in let's say here, I can cancel that out, used in the production of paper. So I should not say because I've said this here then I begin to use they or it to represent it. No, in that sense I'm linking the pronoun to this antecedent, and it is wrong because my sentences have to be independent, one for each. So the next one, we have laws mandating tree planting must be enacted and enforced. Everyone must endeavor to go paperless. Government must create forest reserve and protect them. So I will drop the link to the previous video on summary writing. Feel free to read, and if you have questions you can drop them in your in the comment section. I'll be glad to give answers to your question. Once again, welcome to Lucid English TV. See you in the next video.